All right, everyone. I am about to start this new video, sorry, the new live session. And let's see if I'm live. We're going to talk about some pathways and stuff like that today. Sorry, I did not announce this live session ahead of the time, but we'll see. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of people have been asking me about, can you go over some of the titles, some of the headings when people are going to these jobs, what kind of things do they type and all that stuff. So this is what we're going to talk about today, is that IT support career pathway. Now, IT support career pathway is such a confusing area. Like when you go into these Indeed jobs, Indeed.com jobs like there, like you go to this Indeed.com and then you try to type in anything like support related, you will see so many different titles that your mind is going to be like, as a brand new person, you're new to technology, you're just going to lose it because you'll be like, what the hell is this, right? Where do I really apply? So let me fix one thing over here, and then I'm going to do this right here, portion of the screen. So this is what we're going to talk about. So if anybody wants to join with me today, you're more than welcome to join. I am just going to share some stuff today that's kind of important. There you go. Okay, so we're going to talk about titles over here. A lot of people, when they decide to go into IT career as an IT professional, it's like, okay, I want to become an IT professional. That's kind of like the normal way of starting. So they'll go to college, they will go to program, they will go to online education, they may go to Udemy, they may go to our site, they may just do live internship, they may go to YouTube channels. The problem with a lot of people is that when they are going to this career, they don't have a clear understanding of what titles am I looking for. Like if I done this education, if I done certain courses like CompTIA A+, or even a college education or specific program, then what do I do? Hey, KevTech man, what's up? So KevTech, if anyone who wants to join with me today, then you're more than welcome. I actually did not announce this, sorry, but I'm just gonna do this right here. I'm put it in the chat so then people can join. So I'll do that. And basically, the goal of this video is to kind of go over these titles, different type of titles, and then it gives you a little bit of clear understanding of, okay, that's what it means, that if I'm going to IT career, if I'm going to go for this stuff, if I'm going to go for support, if I'm going to go for this technical positions, then which title am I looking for? What am I going to do? Like, after finishing this A+, after finishing this program, what should I do over here? So to do that, you can see that I put like this little circles, and some are like in yellowish and some are like, normal like white color. So as you can see, the help desk technician is a very common title that people use in the job descriptions. So help desk technician is basically, they like I said, one of the things about titles are it has no there's no set rule behind these titles. So if you go to any job searching, like let's say Indeed.com, Career Builder, or anything, there's no set rules for this, that, okay, if I put help desk technician, it really depends on what the company is looking for. So they may put help desk technician, and then they may put something in there, and then basically it may not even make sense to a lot of people that you went to this college, you did all this A+ certification education and everything, but you may not even see exactly the same thing in these titles. So, but there are some common things that people look for, right? That's what my goal is to cover from this video, so that you don't get confused. So the first thing is that you now want to become an IT professional. So there are a little bit, like, take yourself back. There's way more other things like mentally preparedness, physical preparedness, what this job is about. We're not talking about that because we have already done that in our courses. You can go to our website. So yeah, and then another thing is that somebody put that IT intern as well. So IT intern is also a title, by the way. It's the same thing. That internship is just kind of like people are going to give you more You have more freedom to learn from other people, and they pay you less. Basically, that's kind of like what it is. But if you look at this, help desk technician is something that many companies are going to use to hire you after your CompTIA A plus education, after your college education, or whatever, our education, online education, name it. IT support technician is another one. So I'm gonna put these marks on top of it right here. So let me just do this, like I'm gonna do this green. I think we should use yellow. So this one is a very common one that companies are using. So you're gonna see this a lot in the companies. Then you have this IT support technician. Again, it's the same exact thing as a help desk technician. So the goal of this video is to tell you how many titles that I know, and I can go and search more, but that's not what it is. Basically, you just need to know how to read the descriptions of the titles, and then based on that, decide for yourself if you're good enough or fit enough to apply for these jobs. So you may go to user support technician, you may go to customer support specialist. Now here's a little difference right here. You see I'm using technician, 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 and then here it's specialist. So what's the difference between these first three and the fourth one? There's no difference. There is no difference. So Singapore, what's up? So there is no difference. These titles, these specialist names, the terms that these people are using has no value. There's nothing, and market doesn't know anything about it. If a company decide to call you specialist, you're a specialist. If a company decide to call you a technician, you're a technician. If a company decide to call you a IT support, whatever, they can call you Batman, whatever you know. If they decide to call you that, that company kind of like dominate that title. So you don't have anything, like there's no set rule for this. Okay, so that's something I really want to clear to people, that when you're going after these jobs, when you go after these jobs, there is no value, there's no set rule for this. So this is for the beginners, by the way, because I see a lot of beginners come to me and say, oh, I didn't apply to 10 positions because it was like specialist in there. I'm like, show me the description. So the description, I read it, I'm like, didn't you know about this stuff? Like, okay, I know about, let's say 30% of it. I'm like, why didn't you apply for that? If you knew 30% of that description, you're better than a person who's just going with an A plus and cannot even answer a question. So this is where I want to make sure that I put this focus for these brand new people, that these titles are kind of like worthless, right? For you, because you just need to know how to learn the skills, understand the description, and then go about it, then go and apply to these positions. Now, okay, you may say, why? Okay, how would I apply to these right here where it says level 1, 2, and 3? Now, that's a good one because, okay, if somebody put a level 2, they're putting a level 2 for a reason. So you should then look at the description. Maybe they have some type of hard requirement. When it says required experience this much, required experience this many years, so they're kind of a little bit hard on that. Now here's the thing, if you know what you're doing, if you know your stuff and you're so confident, there is no stopping in IT, by the way. I mean, who's stopping you to send your resume? Only you yourself. If you don't send your resume, you already killed your chances. So what's the big what's the big thing that's going to happen? They're going to reject you. And I already made a video about rejection, right? I said the rejection is a part of your life. Rejection is a part of IT, by the way. Rejection is the part in the beginning when you get rejected, then you realize, okay, I need to go a little bit hard on my skills. That's the part of it. So there's no shame in that, right? Rejection is how many times I got rejected, then I'm at the position where I can teach people, because I got rejected so many times that I learn from that, and I can teach that rejection experience to somebody else now, that how beneficial it was in my life. So that 1, 2, 3 should not scare you. 1, you should be definitely going for it, right? 2 and 3, maybe look at the description. If you're confident enough, go shoot it out. If you totally think that they're putting some must out there, they're like saying this is the must requirement, and do not apply. Level 1, do not apply, that's okay. I mean, it makes more sense because they know this idea of applying. Then like we're going out of after these jobs, maybe they know so many people are applying for these positions level 2 and 3, and we don't want level 1 people right now. So that's perfectly fine. Like I said, there's going to be companies that are going to hire you, there's going to be companies that are going to not hire you. There's going to be companies that are going to basically say, okay, you know what, I think you know a little bit more than a normal people that come to us. Let me hear you because you got something different going on. And that's difference is what we're doing in this platform. Captech is doing the same thing. He's in the chat right now. So that kind of this level of information is different. And I'm going to give you an example on this one. Okay, let's go to this one example. All right, let's go to this example, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear. Okay, there you go. I cleared it. This comment was, I received this comment like a few days ago, right? A day ago, right there, 2 days ago, I guess. I've been doing your courses. Now, let me tell you, this is not to promote my courses, by the way. You can do the same stuff from any free content too. So courses, when he says courses, that could be free courses as well, or that could be paid courses, doesn't matter. Well, free courses are equivalent to our paid courses, but there's no labs, by the way. But you can go anywhere else. You can go to different channels like KevTech channel. You can go to, Kubuman channel. You can go to CompTIA A+ certification. You can go anywhere. It doesn't matter as long as you have a good focus, as long as you know what you're doing. So I've been doing your courses to try and prepare myself for the first IT position, and recently talked to an IT professional with 20 years of experience. He told me after talking with me that what I knew was well past level 1 help desk. I brought up imaging, Active Directory, SCCM, ticketing system, and some hardware troubleshooting. I'm about to start applying. So you see, this is what we're talking about. This type of confidence is not something you're going to achieve from just going to a normal, like, A+2 radical study, right? Like you just go over the videos and stuff like that and you finish it. That's not going to happen. This type of confidence can only come with you going out there and achieving a little bit more than that. What I'm saying is more than that, just going after some of the skills that we're teaching on our YouTube channel or free courses, labs, any other that I mentioned so far. You can go after that to achieve this level of confidence. Then it becomes easier to what I'm saying to a lot of people right now, that this all titling has no value in front of you then. Why? Because you went through certain education, certain skills learning that you were able to tackle a image like this, like I'm about to show you right now. So you're looking at this image like, what do you mean by this, right? Brand new people are going to be like, okay, what is this? Like, I have no clue about this, right? So I'm going to explain all of this stuff right now, how things are connected and how this person is confident enough to go after these positions, because this person understands the basics. He understands how the skills are working in the current market. He's not relying on just specific certification that tells you that, okay, if you finish this certification, you're good to go. No. So I'm going to explain a few things before I jump into that. I'm going to come back to this image again, but I want to come back to this one point that I don't want to miss, that if you come down again, it's going to be different type of changes like desktop, help desk analyst. You see how names are changing, how titles are changing. IT, they could just call you IT technician. You're the IT person. There you go. I mean, we don't need any technicians. We don't need any specialists in there. Let's just call you IT technician, right? IT, specialist. They can even call you that. IT tier 1, you see how things are now changing over here too. They can call you tier 1. They can call you junior IT support. All of this, by the way, comes from the starting. There's no requirements in these area, people. Try to understand this. If you understand this area, then I think your job searching becomes very easy. And take a note of these titles, by the way. If you take a note of these titles, maybe you can go to Indeed.com and type some of these titles and things are going to start coming out for you. So if you type help desk, everything related to help desk will come up. So help desk is probably the most common one that I would use. Then I would use IT support as well, because that also creates, like if you put IT support, there is category, right? Help desk is a category. IT support comes into a category. So any other jobs, or they call you tier 1, they call you junior, anything right here that I mentioned, anything IT support is going to become basically, it's going to show up in that list, and you just basically apply to that. Now, of course, I'm not telling this to people that have no clue, have not done any education or skills education or anything like that. Of course, you cannot apply to these positions. I mean, how would you know stuff then, right? So the people that are more confident in this area, they understand what I'm about to show now, like, and then I can explain some of the stuff. Now, remember, as a technical person, what do you need to know as an entry level person? What do you need to know in this area? So you can see this area, I kind of made it on the left side because this is where we need to explain certain things over here. The first thing is internet, right? Like how technology is working, how internet is working. So if you want to become a technical person, you should definitely know how internet is working, right? That's just basics, extreme basics. But then when you go to the office building like this, because when you're applying to these positions, most likely you're applying to some type of organization, nonprofit, or corporate world, or some type of school or whatever it is that they're paying you for this job. And most likely they're gonna put these jobs available because that's kind of the buildings and the people that can support this stuff, right? The money is being invested into you. It could be a service provider to support these buildings. Also, it could be a small company that are going out to specific clients, and that could be also a reason that you're getting hired. So what do you need to know to be able to, like, what is your area? Like, we're talking about all these titles before this, about all these titles. What is your focus right here, right? The focus over here is to know how networking works. So you don't need to know how routers and switching and stuff like that works, as in you don't need to configure them. You don't need to come in and start configuring these routers or switches or anything like that, or none of this, the advanced area that I'm talking about. But having the understanding makes a huge difference when you go out and go apply for these positions. They're calling them like level 2, or maybe they're calling you IT support technician, but they're saying you need a 1 year experience. That's where a lot of people get confused, right? They're like, hey, I know you're talking all about this stuff, but how do I learn about all this experience? That is where you need to focus on, because if you understand and if you learn the networking a little bit of proper way, Active Directory, virtualization, how things are connected. Now, I'm not saying you really need to configure it as an engineer, but know the bigger picture. When you know the bigger picture, then what happens is these people right here, these are the tech people right now. Let's say these are the technicians, right? Then these people, the people over here, once they understand this technology, just a very broad level, then they're able to solve the issues that they are really hired for, right? They're really hired for what? They're hired for these users that are working in this site company. So they're working in the company, and whatever they touch, whatever they use, it could be a printer, it could be a laptop, it could be a mobile device, it could be a projector, it could be going to some setting up a room or stuff like that. Thank you, Steven. I like I did my I did my own haircut. So if you can do that, then you're good to go. Now, what I'm talking about is this. Somebody has to tell you what is, let's say, cloud, or somebody has to tell you what is networking at the basic level. Somebody has to tell you what is this server with these little VMs, like what is virtualization? What do you mean by that? So when you're so brand new to technology, none of you can really think like that, right? You'll be only thinking about, okay, I'm going to go to a job, there's going to be an issue with a computer, and then I'm going to fix it. But you never think about this stuff. And then when you don't think about this stuff, then this is where Active Directory is. This is where some of the virtualizations are happening. This is where the servers are connected, client and server technology. And if these people are having issues, most likely you're going to come back to these management tools that are on the other side that you never thought of. And then you are going to start working on it as soon as you start working at that job. And the stress level gets extremely high because you never thought of this stuff. Nobody have basically, kind of like, so nobody have kind of like, showed you this stuff, right? And then you have to come and use your own computer, because that computer is more powerful computer than your normal user's computer right here, right? So if you come over here, let's just go down a little bit. So if you come over here, these computers that you have, let's make this a little bit clear. So these computers that you have right here, they are more powerful. These are management computers. These are the help desk. These are the IT support. These are the desktop support computers, right? So these people, when you get hired with these titles, then you need to be installing certain things of these computers to be able to manage all of these people right here. And that's what I'm talking about, right? Now, if you don't know about these management tools, you don't know about remote tools, you don't know about how to get into these machines through your machines and that level of skills, if you don't know it, then of course your chances are kind of hard to compete with other people, because they are going to be going out there with a little bit of experience either, or maybe they're going to go out with the education that we're providing, or other people equivalent to how we are providing education. So if you're listening to me and you're your first time looking at my screen right now, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? I do not get this. What we do is we do this. We teach people a little bit of broader level information like networking. Uh, so what skills are available? What are the current market skills? What are the real world skills? What are the things that our certifications are missing these days? And why, when you learn this, why you become better? And that person that I showed you, that comment that I showed you, how that person got that confidence and you don't have it, that's the reason, because you're missing these skills. You're missing all this information. Now you must be thinking, where do I learn about this information? Of course, you can go to our channels. So my channel, JobsCashare, with a collaboration with KevTech, Kubuman, they're in the chat right now. And these are the type of channels that are teaching this type of skills right now. And we also have a website. We also have our own trainings if people want that. But I don't want to go towards that right now, because what you can achieve, all of the stuff that I talked about, is all for free. You don't need to pay for anything. You can achieve all of these skills for free. You can then later on decide in your own career that you want to become a more advanced technical person. That's really up to you. But for now, if you look, whatever I have talked to you to till now, every single thing is achievable for free. No money paid. Hey, Haifa, how are you? So quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this for discussion purpose. I'm going to post this. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. So for discussion purpose, I'm going to post this links right here, and I hope people can join. If people want to join, I mean, we can just start talking about just something that what other people think about, and then we can move on and take some questions too if people have any questions. I don't know if many people will have any questions, but we can find out. So give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on Zoom. So what's going on, Haifa? And Steven is here. Everybody's here. Sorry, guys, I did not announce it. I was kind of like in a mood to just go ahead and like how I do it, So here's a Zoom, and here's the password. So the password is, and I'm using a different channel, by the way. So what's the issues? 609. Yeah, so if anybody wants to join, I just posted the link, and we can start the, if somebody have any questions about this stuff, we can start about Q&A kind of stuff. But as you can see, these are the type of skills that you're going to need to be able to perform your job as a entry-level professional. So you're going to need to know about basic networking. You're going to need to know about basic virtualization. You're going to need to know about Active Directory. You're going to need to know about how to then manage Active Directory from your machine. Then you're going to become more of a power user. What do we mean by power users? Okay, you need to know about certain tools and skills to manage all these other people that you're seeing on the screen below. So you may have people, you may be doing printer stuff, you may be doing PC. So when we talk about PC, laptops, what's in the PC and laptops? Operating systems. You're going to go inside the operating systems, and then you need to know more about operating system skills. Now, do you really need to know about all this stuff to really land a job? No, not at all. Like I said, you can even land a job without knowing anything. You can just show up over there and people can say, oh, I think you're pretty cool. I think you're going to learn a lot from us. And are you do you love IT? And if you say, oh, I love IT, I will learn from you, people may even give you a job like that. But that's just not a proper way, right? That's just not a proper way. I just posted the link, by the way, for the Zoom. I'll post it again from a diff from this channel too. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so now let me post the links again. So I hope the titling is kind of clear to a lot of people, because titling is very confusing area in this area, and most of the new people just struggle with this, so here you go. I'm posting the Zoom link again, guys. If anyone who wants to join in, let me know. And do invite again. Copy URL. There you go. This is the Zoom link, and this is 609-329. There you go. So my boring lecture is almost done, and anyone who wants to join in, let me know. Now, of course, one of the things that we want to talk about is, of course, that's not only the things like, just what I talked about. It's after that there's applications too, right? There are specific applications, like certain things that we never talk about, like Bluetooth connections, web cameras. People are using certain specific applications inside the applications, like add-ons. None of that stuff is important, and to be honest, we don't want to go into that detail to confuse people, because that stuff you just learn it with time. When you land a job and you start learning these skills from different type of platforms, yes, of course you can use that as well. Welcome, Haifa. How are you? I'm not sure.
Hey, Danish. How are you?
Okay, so we got Saro. How's everything with you, Haifa?
Good, alhamdulillah. You're almost done with Ramadan, huh?
End of Ramadan, almost. Yeah. So you got only 2 more days.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard my whole lecture or not. Today
No,
I was
I
talking
just
about,
joined.
Yeah, today I was talking about the titling right here. I mean, do you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So the video, the outcome of this video I wanted to make is basically why so many new people get confused with these titling when they go outside to Indeed.com, and people come to us like, hey, I want to become an IT professional, but the problem is that how do I apply to which titles, right? That's the first thing people are looking for.
I'm so glad you're doing this. I was actually looking at this a few days ago.
Yes, and I'm sure, and even in our trainings we kind of go over this stuff, but of course it requires a video its own. Like, you just have to be very focused on these different level of titles. Welcome everybody else. We got how many other people just joined in? Steven is here. Well, how are you, Wael? Wael? Wael.
Hey, Danish.
Who's this? Risaro?
Yeah,
How's everything, brother?
I'm one of your subscribers. I just joined your. I'm a paid member on your website, so I really love what you do, man.
Hey, we got gang over here. gang.
What do you think about the website, or anything that you want to share?
Man, I love the new website layout. It's so cool. So it's
the
nice.
new one. We actually did not announce it like publicly that, oh, we got a new.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the site like a couple of days, and then I went back there like a few days later. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, actually, let me log in. So what people are what he's talking about is basically this. I'm just gonna do this right here. JSS demo 2.
Danish, can we talk a little bit later about cloud and what direction that's moving in?
Let's talk about it. I mean, any questions if you guys have, I'm done with my stuff. So I just want to quickly tell, because people may be watching this, what layout. I mean, because some people, of course, we have many other paid members, and most of the people are getting redirected automatically when they log in now, and they're not going to the old portal. So this is a new portal, by the way. How do I pronounce your name? Risayo, or how do I pronounce your name?
Yeah, Rinsayo.
Rinsayo. This is what he's talking about. And also, Rinsayo, we're actually creating a new homepage, by the way. It's going to be also exactly like this.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Cool. So, Haifa, do you want to talk about something? Do you have any question?
Oh, I mean, I've just been kind of looking around while I take breaks from studying to like, I want to figure out like what I want to do with my career after help desk. And I know it's too early. I don't even have a job yet, but I guess I'm excited. And so I was looking into cloud security engineers, and I was also looking into, so there are these, you remember that link you sent me for the Women in Tech panel?
I'm just having a little hard time hearing this now.
Oh,
Can you say?
sorry. Can
Okay,
you hear
go
me
ahead.
now?
Yeah, it's a little. There's a little sound in it, but we can get it.
Do you want me to mute and unmute?
Yeah, go ahead and mute yourself and unmute. But let me just hear the question again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear it, but there's a little
Is it better?
squeaky sound. But go ahead and put your question out there, and then we can.
How about let me exit and rejoin. Give me a minute.
Okay. Well, till then, anybody else? Steven, what's up, man? How are you? Why are you quiet, Steven? You cannot be quiet.
Me? I don't talk a lot. No. Hey, I actually had an interview today.
Oh, you had an interview. Wow.
Yeah, I just got done with it. It started at 4 o'clock and ended at 4:45.
Can we talk about it?
Well, it was very interesting. Have you ever heard of an MSP called? I have Troy here, of course. Called HCL. They're actually an Indian company.
The HCL name I heard, but not as an MSP. It's like a different. I know that Microsoft has a product that called HCL, not as a service provider.
Well, apparently they are a service provider and the company for. I guess they call each one of their businesses that they do the managed service providers for. They call them, I guess, projects. So they're looking for somebody for the Black & Decker division in Allentown here. So I got on the call, and it was with 3 guys. We did it in teams.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't work for Black & Decker. They work for ACL, but they're on different projects. They're on the Chevron project, I guess. Got it. Gas company, I think oil.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oil, right? So they're on that. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys don't work for Black & Decker? They said, no, like we work for HCL, but we have no idea what Black & Decker's looking for. Because I was asking them questions about what their user base is. They're like, we have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay. So I was kind of confused about it. I'm like, well, nobody's on here from Black & Decker? And they go, no, we're just from HCL.
What was the job? What was the job title, by the way?
Exactly. They say it's a desk side support.
Desk side support. Okay, desk
side support. But if you look at the job descriptions, I mean, I kind of like went through this with the guys, and I'm on the thing. I'm like, you know, you guys are looking for Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows XP on here yet? And they go, oh yeah, that thing's so old, it's dirt. I'm like, they just like post one out. And I'm like, what the heck? You know, I'm like, guys, nobody. I said, I hope you guys are not using Windows XP. And they go, no, we moved off that a long time ago. I'm like, okay, good. You know, so, but you know, the interview was more of a customer service related questions from those guys, and they were also working from home. So they were working remote. They were not in the office because of COVID-19. And I was like, well, what are you going to ask me? And they kind of asked us, like, how would you, for like a angry user, how would you calm them down and like make them feel comfortable? It's like kind of like my best answer. And,
what would you do in a situation like this or that, right? Kind of like
it was more like that. It wasn't nothing. There was no technical questions whatsoever.
Yep.
Like zero. They asked me about my past experiences working with IBM and CNA, and then with St. Luke's. I gave them all that stuff. They're like, oh, okay, you know, all right. I kind of explained what I did in those 2 roles. And it was only supposed to be for half an hour. We went 45 minutes. Maybe I was the last one of the day, don't know. But they really didn't tell me either way. They said, all right, you know, we'll get back with the other guy and we'll go on from there. I'm like, all right, thank you for your time. And, you know, but I had a shirt on with a tie, you know, it's like only to the face. I had jeans on, you know, so I couldn't see the
shorts.
You know what I mean? So I kind of dressed up for the thing. But I mean, Did I get good vibes? Sure. I mean, did I tell them what they wanted to hear? They said yes on the thing. But like I said, these guys were not with Black & Decker. They were just with HCL, maybe just trying to weed out people, maybe taking it to the next step before you hit. Or maybe they don't even go that far. Maybe they don't, I don't understand it, but it is for a full-time position. And it would be like a salary position.
Yeah, like the flow, it depends on like who is taking your interview and how they want to, kind of like, how do you say that? How do you, like they want to pick and choose candidates. So the first interview that they ask you is definitely majority of the people, that's how it starts. Because even if it's not somebody at this specific company, it could be a direct HR person, right? So the HR person is not technical enough to tell you. HR person is not going to say you, tell me the command for IP config, or so how do you find an IP address, right? An HR person will never do that. So the first interview is always like that. But like I said, it really depends on, it could be an IT person. So,
well, these guys were IT. They're both working remote. The one guy works on VMs, and the other guy was just working tickets from home.
So maybe that's kind of their flow, that they don't want to. That's their decision that we're not going to make it to that round yet. So there could be a second round. Because based on my experience, I did have few members that never went to technical round and got the job, because how they performed in their first round. But then I have members that went to 4 rounds and still got the job, of 4 rounds of technical stuff. Well, so I mean, I myself, I was actually fasting in one of my back in the days, and I did like 4 rounds in one day, by the way, one day. Wow. So I did with one person, second person, third person, fourth person, and then I would, what the hell is wrong with these people? I'm like, why don't you just split it down? Maybe another day. Why? What are 4 hours? God damn. And I actually got that job, but I did not pick that job. And I went for like a very easy nonprofit that I felt like that's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. So.
Yeah. So can you guys hear me now?
It was interesting.
Haifa, your voice is good now.
Yes.
It's good now. Okay. Yeah. Yay.
So Haifa, go ahead and ask your question now.
Okay, so I have a few questions, and I don't think they're very related, or they might be related, and I just don't know. Okay. My first question is, I was looking into, I was watching this Women in Tech panel, and one of them is a cloud security engineer.
Okay.
And I thought that was really interesting, so I started to look into it.
Okay.
And her career path was kind of interesting. She started out with A+, and then moved into Security Plus, and then Network Plus and whatever and whatnot. And then eventually, I think she got the Google Cloud.
So you say she got the A+. So let's
one second. Let me look it up, because I have it on my phone.
Okay. So let's just put like A+, Net Plus.
She did. Yeah, she did. A+, Network Plus.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you said Security Plus?
Security Plus. Then she got Linux Plus / LPIC.
Okay, so that's a Linux certification. Okay, we got Linux right here. Okay, then?
And then she got Pen Test Plus.
Pen Test, okay.
She has a lot, by the way. And then she got Ethical Hacker.
Okay, she got CEH probably. Okay, then?
And then she got System Security Certified Practitioner, SSCP.
Okay, that's probably the CompTIA one, right?
No, it didn't say CompTIA next to it. All the other ones that had CompTIA were CompTIA next to it.
So
then she got GIAC Penetration Tester, GPen.
Okay, so that's another certification for it. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's 2 more. And then she got GIAC Exploit Research and Advanced Penetration Tester, which is GXPN.
Okay, but I'm just not adding that right now, because I know that we're going further than where we should be. Okay, so
and then the last one was the Amazon Solutions Architect Associate.
So then finally she went to Amazon. Is that the final?
Yes, Amazon Solutions Architect Associate.
She's working for Amazon?
No, I think right now, wait 1 second. I think right now she's working for Google.
Oh, she's working for Google. Okay, wow. Okay. So
no, I'm sorry. She's ex-Google. oh, I can't remember which company she works for now, but it's one of the big.
Is she your friend?
No.
Okay. She's one of the authors or something like that, right?
She has a blog and she has an Instagram.
I mean, somebody
following it. Yeah.
Somebody follows her. What's her name, by the way?
I'm gonna look for it now.
Okay. Anyway, that's fine. I don't want to. I mean, I'm not gonna go get her number right now, but maybe later on.
No. I mean, it's really interesting. I need to go through my follow.
No, I'm just joking with you.
And...
I'm just joking with you. I wanna get to the point right here. So, what do you think? What's in your mind right now?
I was just thinking, like, one, do you need all of those certifications to become a cloud engineer or a system cloud engineer? And then the second thing is a lot of the girls that also in tech that I'm following know programs like Python and Java and stuff like that. Are those helpful or important to that field if you're trying to become something in cloud?
So this is probably the biggest confusing, or this is probably the biggest area that a lot of people lost their track, right? Mm-hmm. Now look at the amount of certifications she's been through, right? Mm-hmm. And what is the first certification she took?
A+.
Did she have? I mean, look, you in less than a minute, you talked about all these certification, but do we have any data from her that how many years that it took her from A+ to get to Linux, to get to pen testing, to get to Amazon? How many years of that knowledge that she acquired from other places? When people say I have A+, that does not mean that they have done A+, then they were able to do Network Plus because they knew everything in their A+ level. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That this is where the biggest part that the things are missing right now is that a lot of people talk about all this certification and they get to the end goal, which you see it as a wow, I can be like that person too, which is amazing because that gives you more confidence, that gives you motivation. But what the problem in this is that a lot of people don't talk about this area, the gray area, the gaps, right? And the gaps are the one that really that people lost their tracks. Because if you try to follow the same track right now and you want to go to the Amazon, I believe this is just overdoing it right here. Like, why would you go from A+ to network to sec to Linux to pen to all?
Isn't what she did isn't what she did like the usual steps that people used to take? Like, don't you usually get A+ and then Net Plus and then Security Plus and then?
Now that's a flow is like I'm liking the flow right here, but that's because when they are going for these type of careers, you should ask them what was their first job too, right? So do you know anything about their first job?
No.
Okay, so we need to know all this data, this information, right? Because everybody have a different pathway. You get to decide this type of certification, this type of pathway based on your experience, right? So let's say, for example, you landed a job in a company as a help desk right now, and you're level 1 right now. You say, I want to be like that person. I want to work for Amazon. Then you're going to skip some of these certification and go straight to what Amazon requires from you. But again, this guy right here, the Network Plus, is very important too, because you need to know about networking. Doesn't matter what you do in your life, doesn't matter what you do, what career you pick in IT, you need to know networking. So in A+ and the entry levels are on the only areas that doesn't require this level of information, because you have too many options to fix a problem, right? And nobody expects you to know networking at the very professional level. This means you just need to know about pinging, IP addresses. You need to know which computer is connected to what domain, Active Directory. So nobody expects.
So the things that I already know.
They already know, exactly. So that's the easy way to get into this career. So then you can decide, do you want to be like that person? Do you want to be like this person? Do you want to be like Steven? Do you want to be like Kevtech? Do you want to be like this? But networking is something that you should concentrate the next after that. Now, here's the thing. Why I didn't say networking the first thing, because you may say, Danish, why can't we just learn networking first? The problem with this is that so many brand new people, when they start IT, networking is too hard for them to absorb. Like, for example, if I would have started my training with you, like, what is TCP/IP? Let me tell you the layers. Let me get into layer 1, 2, 3, 4, and you would have not got anything, and we would have wasted our 2 or 3 days of our live training, and you would have got really, really bored. And that's exactly the normal and the boring way right now in how we do it in colleges, how we do it in any certifications. Just straight up with this type of technology, which is not bad, by the way. It's proper way, but it's just.
So what you're saying is like A+, or you start with A+ to teach people the basics, so that when they enter into networking, Network Plus is they have more of a ground.
Exactly. This one basically, but the problem with here, even A+, you already know the problem with A+ now, right?
Right.
Because you didn't come straight to take my live training. You did your research before me. I'm sure you did that.
Yeah.
And you were not comfortable with just going for A+ certification. That's kind of what I got from your call when you called.
Absolutely.
Right? So most of the people are in your shoes right now. They go to the A+ certification. A+ does a good job, but the problem is that there's too much in the world right now in 2020 for you to understand technology. It's just too much. And that is why I explained this chart right here at the bottom, that A+ may cover specific areas in this chart, but A+ does not cover the overall virtualization and then real world stuff. Maybe they may say, what is virtualization? But it may not show you exactly what we do on YouTube, by the way. So that's stuff you learn on the job, but that's the old way. That's what I always call it, the old way. I don't call it a bad way, or I don't call it the wrong way. It's a right way, but that's the old way. That's not what's like what will make it more faster learning for you. A faster learning is when you learn it from somebody, they share the skills with you in IT, you capture it, you cash on it. So let's say that girl that you're talking about is at the Amazon level, and if she had made a video, and is this just a video about like, because now here's my other problem with this area is, I'm not saying anything wrong about authors or mentors. These people are awesome, right? They're sharing this information. But remember, this requires a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and to do something like this in a very proper way, it requires you to dedicate a whole years of your life into it, right? Yeah. So a lot of people come and say, I did A+, I did Network Plus, I did Security Plus. These are 3 major certifications. And then I did this, then I did this, then I did this, and then I became this, right?
Right.
But that's like a huge amount of certification, huge amount of information is missing out there. And that is where person like you who are brand new gets confused, right?
Right.
Because even if you like this path, even if you like this, and it's this, when you become realistic and you sit practically and you start opening these books about this certification, you're going to lose your mind, right?
Right. That's kind of, I was looking at it and I was like, oh my God, am I even going to get there before I'm 50?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so the first thing is, yeah, go ahead.
What you're saying is you don't need to get all the certifications. No. But you should get Network Plus because that's important.
Okay, now, like again, it's like it depends on what you're trying to achieve. I mean, if your goal is to go towards Amazon, then 100% that I would recommend you to learn the networking. Not just Network Plus certification from CompTIA. Learn the networking like a normal IT professional.
Okay.
Networking is way bigger than just CompTIA Network Plus.
Right. I made a
video on this too. Yeah. So it's like you're going to go for Network Plus certification, but then you're going to find out, okay, what is in networking? What else do I need to research? What book what can I buy? Maybe they teach about this layers, but I didn't get it. Let me just buy a book on it, something like that. So you got to become much better in that too. And then once you kind of have a good command over that, then the rest of the stuff becomes easy for you. Whether it's Amazon, whether it's Azure, of course they have their own technologies, by the way, because it's running on their technology. So then you need to know their certification, their skills, and I can guarantee you, even from their certification, things are going to be missing, like a real world stuff. So then you're going to find like some channels, and you're going to get back to where you are right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't need none of these certification at like the way she have done it. And of course, she may be at the level that she have acquired all this stuff and she is pretty much in it right now, but that doesn't mean that everybody have certification to get to that level, you know? So, but certain places does require, like for example, Amazon, if you're going to go for Amazon is like, compared to our older way of technologies, our older certification, Amazon is in terms of that, right? Like, you know, old way of technology networking. So you got to also think about this stuff too, because if you're going for a company, let's say like Amazon, I'm sure they're not going to hire you if you don't have an Amazon certification, right?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. If you're going to go for Google and Google Cloud, you're trying to manage the Google Cloud right now. They're not going to give you a job if you don't have a Google Cloud certification.
Right.
Currently in 2020, I'm talking about. Maybe later on, people will come up with different type of courses, platforms, and things like that, and then may become a normal thing, just like what we do right now, right? We tell people that, okay, you don't need a plus certification in a paper, but if you have it, that's great. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. At least try our skills first. Get a job, just like other people have done it before you. They got a job. Some people didn't get a job, and they needed to add a plus. Maybe that helped them. But at least we have some kind of availability over here. In
Right.
this type of areas right now, it's very minimal chances that you're going to get a job in a cloud type environment without any certification.
Yeah, I was gonna also ask. Well, I have, I guess, now 2 more questions. So, and this is for everyone who wants to answer, but or anyone. But like Google versus Amazon, right? I know that it's best to have both. I mean, if you could have both, you'd get both. But if you had to choose one, which one would you lean towards, or any of the IT professionals?
Between what? Between how?
The Google Cloud and Amazon.
Oh, Amazon, absolutely Amazon. Google
so why would you say, like, why did you immediately think Amazon? Why not Google?
No. What do you mean? You said, should I go for Amazon or should I go for Google? Is that the question, right?
Right. Yes.
Amazon.
So why did you choose Amazon?
I say Amazon. Why did I choose Amazon? Because Amazon is the top technology right now in the cloud.
Okay.
So like, okay, to give you a little bit
Is it
more
because it's
understanding.
more diverse also?
Yeah, to give you a little better understanding, the cloud leaders, there's like, okay, virtualization. Why did I taught you about VMware? Why didn't I picked on VirtualBox or Hyper-V? There's different virtualization too, right? So what will make more sense to you, or what will put more weight on your resume?
Whichever one is more popular.
More popular. So is Amazon more popular or Google? You should do your research, but for my research, Amazon is way more popular than Google.
Okay.
When it comes to cloud stuff.
Okay. And then my last question for now is learning any coding important for any of this, or should people who want to go into programming focus on that? Is it good to learn a language and have it on your CV?
So
like
if you're gonna go to cloud and if you're gonna go to security specifically, you do need to know about the basics of coding, and specifically like Python, specifically know how to write a script, specifically how to program a small action or something like that. Now let me tell you one thing to people, and very clearly, security is a third IT jobs that you should be applying for. You start with the entry-level stuff, you start with the networking, and in between you can go for help desk, you can go for networking, you can go for systems administration, and then you become a security person. You do not become a security person before that. Why is that? Because as a security professional, you're going back and working with system administrations, network engineer, help desk people, and you're going to be scanning networks. So now, if I tell you to scan specific network, or to basically go ahead and scan the specific server, right, that is running an IIS web server. Now, if I'm talking to you right now, and you don't know what IIS server is, right, or what networking is, then you're a clueless security person, right? Because you're just going to go with some kind of tools like Nessus. Like we're going to say, okay, this is a tool. It says that pick this network from A to B, start scanning it. Now you cannot blindly scan stuff without knowing what you're doing, right? So this is a very big misconception with a lot of people, that security is something that you're going to start with entry level. And remember, entry level security job is a more advanced level than your help desk and just normal networking people. Okay. So my suggestion to people is that you want to become a security person when you know about networking. Doesn't matter if you have worked for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, doesn't matter. But as long as you know the networking side of it, and you know how the client server technology works, then you can become a better security professional. It doesn't matter where you go, Amazon, cloud, on premises, anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Okay. And you said, if you had to give me advice, I know you're my mentor, but you would advise me to learn Python if that's the route I want to take?
there's nothing wrong with learning programming languages or even it's scripting stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it,
I
but
think,
here's the thing. Listen, hear me out with this stuff. Here's the biggest thing for people like you who are new. You're putting yourself in too many skills at the same time. So
mhm,
my suggestion is this: don't lose your focus. And I know you're asking all this stuff because you want to make it better for yourself, right?
mhm,
You want to clear it down for yourself. But if
yeah,
you start doing Python right now, and at the same time you're learning about all these skills that you're learning, like ticketing, Active Directory, deployments, and just knowing how networking works and technology as a whole, and working at this stuff, and you're not good at this stuff, then of course your focus is shaky right here, right?
right,
Like you're gonna be maybe I should learn Python more now. Then that may lead you to some other areas too. Now I'm not saying I may be perfectly right in this area. You may just do Python and you may land a job and you may totally forget about the help desk side, right?
mhm,
That may work for you. But
mhm,
as a normal human beings, we're kind of like we're dealing with certain things that are just too broad for us right now, right?
right,
So I cannot put myself in too many areas where I cannot achieve the goal. So the first thing is that there are certain areas that we all agree with that, okay, you need the basics, you need the networking, even if you're doing a programming. To be honest, at the end, even if an engineer a developer wants to become a really cool developer, he or she still need to know about networking, right? Things are
right,
connected. I mean, if this engineer is assigned a task that I want you to build a virtual machine from the API, connect that virtual machine for me using Python, right? Now,
mhm,
this developer has given the stats for development. He cannot say no to me, by the way, right? I hired him for that.
mhm,
He
mhm,
has to go and do a research now, or she has to go and do a research on how to connect APIs and all that kind of stuff. And maybe it requires some networking for me to know.
mhm,
So even at that level, it doesn't matter. So you need to know networking. So I think the focus over here for brand new people, it should be the basics to get in the job first. Because if you're looking for the job, if you're not looking for the job, maybe you can go with the old school ways and just beat the hell out of networking, and just learn networking pretty good.
okay.
Okay.
All right, well, those are all my questions. If anyone else wants to jump in.
Anybody else have any suggestions for Haifa?
I was just excited.
Well, the excitement is good. This is why we are here. You ask us questions, and we're gonna put some like walls around you. Like, hey, I think you should do this. You should do this. But even if
Mhm,
you get inspired by someone else motivate you, I think the best thing is to reach out to them to have them tell you a full story. By the way, maybe
yeah,
ask them that, hey, what did you do specifically that really led you to another career? Those things are very important because
mhm,
when you're changing a career, there's so many other things that we do in our life to make sure that we know what we're doing, right?
mhm,
So there's a lot of things that missed around this area. So a lot of people go with a very easy way, because the problem is this: like let's say as a YouTuber, I come on the YouTube and I say that I think for you guys to become a sysadmin, you guys should do this certification. Then I am actually opening a door for people to ask me questions too. Now I need to be able to respond to them, right?
mhm,
So people are going to be asking me questions that, hey, I did A plus, but I still don't have a job. Then how do I respond to that type of question? If you
mhm,
don't
mhm,
have a platform, you don't have a backup, then what do? You say that, oh, I think you should research more, or you should go for another book, or maybe another training. I think you should go for a little bit better training than that, right? But the person cannot give you more than that. I mean, the person is not going to say, come and let me teach you, right?
yeah,
So and that's natural, right? And not everybody's going to come on the YouTube and just start opening up platforms, right? So
yeah,
I can understand that area that where people get stuck, and this is where kind of like the help is out there from our end. But of course, we cannot help in every single career right here. Our focus is kind of like entry level, but then there's more other careers that we are also have experience, and we can kind of lead people. But then most likely people will find their pathway after when they know the basics.
of course. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's some chat going on. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Is there a fight going on? I don't know. Okay.
I think
You
they were
don't,
arguing.
you don't need 100 certs to get the first job. It's not 100 certs. Okay, so, okay, this one thing, you didn't need 100. It's not 100. Okay. Okay, then there are more than one way to get a job. Exactly. You can literally do one exam per month. I'll give you that too. The only barrier is people saying is 100 serves and scaring people. Strong-minded people will ignore and go put in work. Okay, so this is some kind of like a certification versus non-certification type of argument, which is totally okay, by the way. If people love certifications and that really helps, like I said, there's nothing wrong with certification as long as you can do the certification and say that, okay, I'm going for A plus. What can I achieve from this certification? If you're going for A plus, my suggestion to you is this: after finishing the A plus certification, go back to the descriptions and how comfortable are you to go after these positions? Because confidence is everything. Now, people are going to tell me, nah, they can go and just apply. No, it doesn't work that way, right? We've been doing this for a long, long time. Confidence is such a big thing that people are just going to have a lot of issues with it. So then you need more than that, right? Certification is going to help you definitely on your resume. It's going to give you more weight. There's nothing wrong with that. So if people want to do certification, I totally agree with that. Do go for certification if you can. But if you lose your focus, then try to come back again. Try to just revise everything, and just sit down and where is your mistake, and you can get yourself better again.
You know, that leads me back to when I got my A plus and Network Plus about 10 years ago now. I got a level 2 desktop support job working up there at that insurance company through IBM. I skipped the help desk thing, you know, walked in there, and I was a newbie. I was like, okay, how am I going to apply my A plus and Network Plus to this company? I had absolutely no clue until you sat down and started working with the company and kind of knowing their methodologies and how they work and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden you start bringing back the stuff you learned from going through those courses, you know, the A plus and Network Plus, and kind of like springboard from there. So I kind of skipped the help desk. I was never in a help desk role. Like I had to sit down and read from a freaking script, A, B, and C. Nope. All right, level 2. And there's no way that I could do that. I cannot, unless I was forced into it. I'd be like, because I would want to jump through the darn phone and fix the darn computer. I'm like, I know how to fix this. I am not going to sit here and go A, B, and C doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, I got to get on, like, you know, to the next darn call. There's no way that I could do that. That would drive me insane. I would like, nope, sorry. I just can't. Like, that's why I always go for level 2 jobs, because I know the tickets will get pushed up and I can do what I like and love to do instead of sitting there pushing out tickets to everybody, escalating them up. It's like, oh, the actual phone's ringing. Help this is nice. I'm sure it's nice, but you got to have a kind of attitude for it. I just don't know if I could do it, Danish.
The thing is that when we're talking about help desk, now remember that's specifically when you're the help desk in your company, or wherever you're working, that's how they name the help desk, right? Or so, but if you talk about help desk, because a new person that's listening to us right now, they may think, oh, Steven scared the hell out of me from help.
Oh, well, no.
So no,
I just couldn't do it. I mean, maybe somebody else can.
No. I'm not talking about the title here, the title, because some people may consider help desk the way you're explaining it, right? But help desk could be, like I said, all this right here. Can you see my screen? Yeah. This is help desk. This is help desk. This is help desk. This is help desk. So it's up to the company how they name it, right? How they phrase it, how they name the title of it. But yeah, you were right. Like some companies do have specific term for help desk, like a person who's just doing ticketing, right? Yeah. And our focus, and when we're training, and by the way, even my free training, I tell people that that's not what we're preparing you for, because that's where this person, I don't know if you've seen this, that's where this person was able to talk to a person with 20 years of experience and basically got that comment from that person that more than a level 1 person. I don't know if you've seen this, Steven.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So this is our goal, is basically this, not just a generic help desk, right?
Yeah.
Like just a ticketing person.
Yeah.
So there's this is the hardest explanation that I could for me. This is the hardest place in my life that I could not explain it properly to people. The reason is that it's so hard to tell a person who have never seen something practically. How do you tell a person what's the difference between a help desk and what I'm talking about is, what are you talking about? This other stuff like that, level 1, level 2, level 3. And then they get confused, like maybe there are some different jobs around this area, right? So then I tell people that, no, this is something to do with the company. This is the way it's so messed up in this career that people have started naming their own crap in there. Somebody call you Superman helped us, somebody call you Batman helped us, whatever. They can name you whatever they want to call.
Right.
So this is where I want to tell people that you start your career the proper way. So it doesn't matter if you're a help desk or if you're not a help desk. At least when you learn these skills, or at least you learn the proper core skills the better way, then the rest of the stuff becomes very easy. For example, what Haifa asked these questions are extremely good questions because a lot of people have the same questions, right? So if people have the core skills, and to be honest, in the future, when they open a cloud computing or their education, and let's talk about the networking and cloud right now. Let's create a network first before we even create a virtual machine. Then if a person knows about networking, how cool it is for the person to understand that, right? Very easily, right? Okay, let's spin up a server inside the cloud. Now the person, hey, what do you mean by that? Is this some kind of like, how would I do that? So if a person already knew about virtualization or a basic installation, so first of all, basic installation is like way basic. But now if the person knew about virtualization, how easy it is for people to grasp the cloud compute knowledge. Isn't it more easier than you're going straight to the cloud? And because I have people, I have actually member came to me, by the way, Stephen, they took this training after when they finished their Amazon training. And I'm like, you went to Amazon before this training or any CompTIA Plus? They say yes, because somebody told them there's a lot of money in it. That you can make $100,000 right if you get the Amazon certification. So I'm like, okay, explain it to me now. Explain some basic knowledge to me. And they were not able to say anything. They were not able to perform anything. The reason for that is that they were missing extreme basics. So that's why I tell people that cloud is advanced. People, if you're thinking about you're going to jump into cloud, then if you get lucky, you get lucky. And if you can take that kind of stress, then take it. But that's not how I'm going to tell people. I'm going to tell people that cloud is advanced, security is advanced, networking is advanced, systems administration is advanced. Your option is the basic level, and the basic level could be anything. It could be help desk, it could be level 1, level 2. It could be anybody teaching you the basics of how client and servers works, how technology works, how networking works. So if they give you whatever title and you understand that, then move up to other careers. It's going to make your life easy later on. That's kind of like my suggestion to people.
Yeah, like when I took my A+ and all that stuff, going through all that stuff, like I remember back then, if I remember that far, just when I first got into it, I kind of knew a little about computers, kind of fixed people's computers on the side. But as far as when I took the A+, I did get a more well-rounded hardware experience for myself. I definitely thought you do learn. Even during the course, they had us go in and they had us, take apart an actual computer, take out all the pieces, lay them out everywhere, and kind of like describe which ones they all were. Well, we kind of got our class together. We went out there. Some people kind of scared me. I handled like an actual hard drive. People thought it was like the RAM. I'm like, how long have you been in this class? It's like, about a couple of months now. I'm like, and you don't know the difference.
Yeah.
So that does help. I mean, because people are just like, they think they can read one thing, but when they see the physical part of it, they're like, I have no idea what this is.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of strange to me. I'm like, well, you are actually, you're actually seeing this stuff. You're reading about it. Now put the words on the book to the physical hardware you are seeing in front of you.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how a lot of people got it right, and a lot of people were like clueless after like 2 or 3 months in the course. I was like, you are gonna have an issue with this thing come like the A+ exam time if you guys don't grasp.
And just for people, because if it's our members and people who are in our kind of like community, remember we're always doing what? We're always teaching on phase 1, which is for you to get a job quickly. That's kind of like our goal, right? People are complaining, I'm not able to get a job. I'm not able to get a job. So the first thing is we need to fix that area first. However, I fixed it without certification, without college. I don't care. If I can fix this issue by giving you the skills, and if that works for you, it works for you. We don't care about that. Because these skills are going to be required when you land a job anyway. So the first thing is to get people jobs. That's the phase 1 right there. And that's what KevTech is also focusing a lot on. and his channel is all about that. My channel is all about that. Kubo Man and yours also kind of like that. The skills that we're doing right now, it's kind of like focusing in this phase one. But remember, there's phase two. This is where many of us, some people are giving suggestions or recommendations. Why are we doing this? Because we have been through certain areas, certain specific situations that we can make the life easy for people. So that phase two is also very, very important, because this is where the phase one people get stuck and they cannot move out to the phase two, like systems administration, networking, cloud, whatever they want to call it, in this area. So that's another phase that I'm mostly focusing on a lot. And this is the phase that I start hitting certification a little bit more than the phase one, by the way. Because if phase one, if I tell people to go for bachelor's, finish the bachelor's, then finish A+, I mean, let's be honest, not many people are going to do that. People are going to give up, or they're not going to even be able to, because people, if that was so good out there, if the universities were doing a great job, by the way, if certifications were doing the great job, then why do we exist? Why do so many people follow us? Because we exist based on that area that's missing from these type from education. Why do we exist? This is exactly why we exist, by the way.
Like I said, I did an associate's in networking when I was 18.
There you go.
And that was very focused, but I think the issue with, I mean, we did hands-on things back then too, but I think the issue with universities and colleges here is that you have to take so many electives and things like that. So people lose focus and lose track. They just want to, I don't know, at least the people that I know that are in this field, they kind of just want to focus on what's important. So like whether it's programming or whatever, I don't want to take a biology elective or a chemistry elective. I just want to do the programming bit of it. So maybe that's why. I mean, I know that's why I never finished like a 4-year degree.
But that's one side which we all hated. But there's another side to it too. Like for example, most of the colleges are like, you go to the class, right? And they also teach you on top of their class. They teach you the certification. They give you the book. They may give you the labs, and the teacher just go on top of that book. So they're specifically preparing you for the certification. So you went to college, you paid that extra money, right? You're in the class. And the teacher may be a little bit outdated, by the way, because teachers full-time working over there may not know too much what's going on in the real world, and just prepare you on the script what they have given. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about.
There's not much hands-on, I don't think.
And that's where a lot of people.
I think that's what you were saying.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why people are coming to us. And that's where, if I look at these comments and everything, and I agree with WP with the certification comments, with the degree comment, and we never tell people to not do the degree, by the way, because degrees are always good for you in the future. You become a manager based on degree, right? These days, that's how it works. So the thing about this is that it's like there are too many people that are not okay with this type of education. So some people also have to understand that if there is no certification is not helping them, associates like you is not helping you, then what's your other option? I mean, of course, you got to look for something, right? If you want to become an IT professional, what's your next option then? Okay, go and do it yourself. Is that a good reply? We have been doing that for years, right? Is there a platform that they can just say, okay, you know what, let's fix the gaps right here. There's too many gaps missing. Let's just fix it without me discouraging you to not do the certification. Now, in the beginning, in the phase one, I tell people not to, if you have not done the certification and you're taking our courses, then why go over 2 different education where I'm teaching you the same stuff? Like, for example, Haifa, you did your training in phase 2, you did a CompTIA A+, by the way, simulation lab from testout.com, right?
I was just going to talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, so we are already teaching you what A+ is teaching you, and we're also preparing you for the certification. So people should also think about, we're not against certification.
I think that if anyone, like with for anyone who doesn't know, but I'm a paid member, and I did live classes before I started with testout.com. I'm in phase 2 now of job skill shares. What do you call it? Just phase, whatever. But yeah, the first phase was live training, and now I'm in phase 2, which is test out. I learned so much more in 4 days of live training than I have in like the 2 weeks that I've been doing testout.com.
Thank you. And I did not pay Haifa.
No, I paid him, but
they paid us. Actually.
I paid you, but what's it called? No, I just like being able to use VMware and being able to do things with my own hands, like and have that guidance immediately, which is very different than YouTube also. But that one-on-one guidance, I was one-on-one, but I know that you have classes that are larger than that. But it's way more helpful than if I had not taken the live classes and just done, for instance, just done testout.com and just did the certification that way. I don't think I would have been as well equipped.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like it depends on the people. Then how do they want to invest their energy? By the way, because I value energy more than money, so I'm not even talking about money here. So your energy is very important. So you can invest your energy in the phase one, basically phase one, by going to the college. But even if you're going to college, that's not bad. Go and talk to your teacher. Tell the teacher that, hey, professor, I'm doing this training. I'm doing this course with you for 3-4 months. What is my end goal? Which job title can I apply after I finish my training? Let them give you the answer and see if that answer makes sense to you. And do the research based on that. And then if you think you believe in that training, then stick to it and then do more research around it. And I think you can go to the college, you can finish that and still be in a good hands and you be in a good position, by the way. But if they cannot give you a proper answer, if they are, you just do A+ and you're going to become like you're going to apply to help desk positions. And then that's where, if you heard me today, you should start thinking that. Because you are not going to be able to you're not going to be able to compete with other people. Trust me. The people who have, let's say, been through this type of training or some self-made type of training, and they have done a lot of energy on it, they have spent a lot of energy on it, you probably will not stand any chance in front of them. But if you do, you get lucky. Like I said, this is also the part of our life. So let's go over some of the comments. I agree with Job Skillshare community. WP, you always agree with me. No, I'm just joking. So I began my journey with job.
Are you
course.
paying WP?
No. WP is always has really nice comments always, and help our community in chat too. This is also why certification vendors like Microsoft have changed the certification to the role-based. Exactly, that's what we were talking about, right? We started this like 9 years ago, and we figured it out that this is not working. I think I'm better than Microsoft over here. I'm just kidding. So they realized that these certifications are not working. I went to university's route for an IT degree before realizing you can self-learn a lot of the self-study and save money. Exactly. You can do the exact same way. This is what I explained to you. During my classes, we did cover the A+, Network+, Security+, Ethical Hacking. You guys provide more direct hands-on training, which we will see in the real world. And that's the combination that we're talking about. So you went through that knowledge, you went through that theoretical understanding, you got some of the stuff in your head, some went away from your head. But when you do the real world stuff, when you get to see things, how things are done in a proper way, then it gives you a little bit more, clarity, okay? That's why JobSkillshare platform is a great balance. I think she made it a pretty nice summary. We are the balance, by the way. We're not the competitor. We're not a competitor to anybody. We're not a competitor to any certification or any programs. We are filling the gaps without thinking about our competition. So there's no competition for us. We're saying that there is a missing gap in the title area. So let's make a video on that. And that's what I did today. We're saying that there is a missing gap inside a, Active Directory type of issues that people are, like you go to these descriptions, there's a missing gap between the descriptions versus certification learning. So I go to descriptions, I go to Indeed.com. Let's just pull up something right now. Let's just pull up this. I go to Indeed.com and I pull up this help desk support, help desk specialist junior. Look at, here's the title. This is what pisses me off. Help desk specialist junior. Now, if you are a brand new person and you come over here and you look at this, you're going to be like, wow.
That's such a confusing title.
Yeah, am I going to become a specialist and then I'm going to become a junior? What do I do over here? Like, is this a specialist position? Then you become a junior? Okay. So then you gotta make sure that. Let me I want to ban somebody from this channel. Here you go. So we got attacked. It's okay. So, uh, but you guys can see it. It's basically blocking the community is basically blocking the messages. Yeah, there you go. I just blocked it. Thank you, Keftek. So this is what I'm talking about. That if you come to these titles and you see these descriptions, then you need more than that. You need to find that balance. Whether you do it with us, whether you do it with your own education, whether you go with YouTube channels like Keftek or JobSkills Share or anything, you really need to basically find combination of 2 or 3 things. Anybody have any other questions?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I live in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really so hard sometimes to, just like you said, like just what you put up from Indeed. I mean, some of these titles are so confusing at times, and I'm new in this country and I'm trying to get myself on that IT part. But sometimes it's hard when I go on Indeed and I look for sometimes I even look for computer support specialist, and I mean the kind of what is it called? Like what the kind of experience, the kind of skills that they're looking for. It's somehow, I mean, sometimes I get so scared, like, oh my God, what is going on? So, and then I came across your YouTube channel, and then I went to your channel and I saw all the all your posts and everything. I mean, I saw a post for like almost like 9 years ago, and I started looking at it, and I was like, oh my God, what this is so cool. And then I started like, checking them out, and at least and then that like prompted me to like go on your website, and I went on there and I saw the stuff on there too, and I was so like glad to find your website, and that was why I'm a premium member now.
So what do you like? Okay, what is it that you think this site is providing to you that other people couldn't, that you were like, oh my God, where I was for this 10 9 years?
Okay.
What is it that, because a lot of people probably don't, I know what it is, but maybe it's just good to hear from different type of people.
Oh yeah, so um I'm currently in I currently enrolled in a program in one of the community colleges around me, um,
Mhm.
computer support specialist. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I mean, I haven't learned anything so far. Like, this is my first
Oh.
semester, and it's
How long you been in that program?
I mean, this is my first semester.
Okay, so
And
first,
throughout, yeah,
so
first.
how long have you been, like, how many classes you would say you took that you?
I'd say I think 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
still a beginning, right?
yeah, I know, right? But I mean, when I started, and were like first like 3-4 months, and then I come across, and I saw your website, and I went on there, and I was I was asking my professor the other day, like, so after this program, like, what am I going to, like, what's the end goal? What's the end game? Like, what am I going to gain from this? And it was like, well, what I'm going to get is like, I can get my A plus certification, and then, get a help desk job, stuff like that. So, but there was nothing like the hands-on. There was nothing like, I mean, there was even all we do basically, all we basically do there is they'll give you an assignment, go home, you read, you come back, do a test, stuff like that. So there was no hands-on at all.
Do you guys use any labs?
Yeah, we have a lab. We've only used it once.
Which platform do they use for labs? You know?
What do you mean?
Are they using like labs, like you go to like a website and they open the labs, or they
No,
just
no,
give you?
No. It's just like the computer labs. Like
Okay. They're
just
computer
computers.
lab. Okay.
Yeah, it's just computers everywhere. So
Okay. So their focus is basically when you finish this whole semester, you're just gonna be able to learn A plus. Is that's kind of like
yeah. That's just what the course is all about. So
yeah.
but there was nothing. I mean, but on your website,
Hmm.
I'm trying to learn. And I mean, I think halfway. I'm halfway in because I'm learning what's it called, Office 365.
Okay.
I think I'm halfway, and then I'm trying to. There is this other one.
Help desk
Help
technician
desk.
full
Yeah,
course.
help desk technician.
Mhm.
So my question, and then there is another course about um
Well, let's open it. Let's open it right here.
yeah. I mean
So you are basically using the learning path, I believe, right?
yes.
So let's go to the learning path, self-paced program. Okay, so we got a. So you finished the fundamental, or did you do the ticketing system first?
Oh yeah, no. I think I started with the Office 365.
Oh, you started with Office. Okay.
Yeah, I started with Office
Okay.
365.
Okay.
So
Got it. So what's your question here?
so my question is, uh, the path now. It's what I want to like. I want to know. Should I learn the Office 365? Then move on to help desk technician. Then move on to
And you say you're a premium member, right?
yeah, I'm a premium member.
Okay, so 100% you should start right here. Step 1, IT Fundamental V1.0.
Okay.
This course is fundamental in a way that it goes over all this things that I've been talking in this video today, like, but it's more, of course, it's more detailed, titles, salary, different type of environments. So that is just like a breaking the ice for you, basically. And then this course, after this course, it gets you into more technical labs, like practice lab it's actually CompTIA learning, but it's more practical. It's like it's how we designed it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a different, people are preparing you for A+ certification. We are not preparing you for A+ certification. We're preparing you for a job then, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you learn the skills that we're teaching you, for example, you're going to click on this go to course right now. So you're going to go to this like that. And after the Office 365, maybe you want to finish that because you're already in that, right? So you will finish this. This is all like you're going to click here and click on start the course. Like you already know that, right? So once you do that, you see how this is covering the first part is like transitioning to an IT career, and the core IT learning is important. Then it gets to like this CompTIA A+ learning,
Okay.
but it's all hands-on on the bottom. Like you have a lab access because of the premium access, right?
Yeah.
So even though these are videos for the specific lab, so you click on it, the video opens up, and then you can do this in your lab too. Like if you want to do that, that's like your choice, but I would highly suggest you do it practically, right?
Okay.
So once you finish this, after this, you should go for the help desk, which is a second course. That's a very technical course. So let me show you that right now. So okay, now here's one thing. You're not supposed to finish the whole learning path to apply for jobs, by the way, because this is going to take you time. This is like, this gives you ability to tell people that I know a lot now, right? But when you get into this IT fundamental and you finish, let's say, Office 365, I even say that in this course, so go start shooting your resume, because even if you shoot your resume, like I said in the beginning, you may get rejected based on your knowledge, but that's fine. What if you get a job, right? What if somebody gives you the job?
Yeah.
Then this whole learning path becomes your career development path, right?
Right.
But if that's not working, then keep on doing with step-by-step courses. It's going to take you more time, but you're going to get better technician, right? Better technical professional. So this course right here should be taken definitely after fundamental, because it's very much, it straight goes into real world stuff in very much detail, like, like advanced stuff, I would say. So this one is actually created for the premium members. As you can see, we're still under production.
Okay.
There's a free version of this course available, which is totally publicly free available, which we have done it for till 2017. We have kept it up to date, but after that we stopped doing that, right? I don't know if you know the history of our platform. After 2017, we stopped making free videos.
Yeah, I think I saw a video on that on YouTube.
Yeah. So you go to this course, and this course, then you can see right now it goes into a very much detail, like let's real world IT training, let's make a real world scenario, desktop operating system, domain controller, device inventory, stuff that you may have seen me doing it on YouTube, but this is more step by step, more approachable, like in a shorter version of videos, right? Not like 5 hours long video, right? So this would be your pathway. I would say continue like that, like it's fundamental, help desk, then Active Directory, stuff like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And once you finish this, I think you should be good enough. You should be kind of like in a situation where this person is like, where even though he doesn't have a job yet, he's still able to convince a person with 20 years of experience just to tell them, oh, you know more, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the goal for you should be.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this is why people are coming to us, right? Like their colleges are not doing what I'm thinking they should do, and why I kind of like got disappointed with my college education, and that's why the platform got created, right? I mean, of course, you don't create a solution if there's a problem going on, right? So this is kind of like a solution in a way that it helps people to get better, So
Thank you.
anybody, yeah, no problem. And I wish you luck, and you can approach anytime. You know how to contact me.
Yeah, sure. I have
somewhere.
the WhatsApp number. Yeah.
Because that's what I do, because this is what we do, right? We do a little bit more than just telling people that this is a platform. You have a direct mentorship access. You call and you say, okay, it's just like today you asked me, I say, okay, I think you jumped a little bit ahead of your Office 365, but I think you should start with the fundamental. It makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
So these are the things that we help you immediately, okay? So anybody else have any other question? Who else is over here?
So one more question. So the sys admin, is it like a level? Is it like a tier 2 support or what?
Sysadmin is a total different career in IT support section, like infrastructure support, right?
Okay.
So a sysadmin would be coming after this level. So if you are looking at my screen, so you are right here, right? You want to become a help desk, right?
Yeah.
So the help desk, like I said, have many different faces, like this, all these are faces of help desk, okay? So it doesn't matter. You go to the company, they'll hire you as whatever title they're going to give you, right?
Right.
After this, there's a different career. We call it sysadmin. Now that's if you want to go towards that route. After help desk, you can even go to networking if you want to, right? That's like Cisco people. And our suggestion to people is that learn the networking regardless of Cisco education, meaning don't just go into Cisco specific certification, because they're going to always tell you to become a network engineer, right? And then they're not going to tell you that there's like a sysadmin role also available. So why don't you do that, right? So if you do networking in generically in a general way, just understanding the whole network, then you can either go for networking or you can go for system administration. Both should be good to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
And sysadmin also have then levels, maybe a junior admin, level 1, senior sysadmin. If they put a senior sysadmin, you're not getting a job right after help desk.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty solid title. We know that.
Yeah.
If they put a senior systems administrator, you're not going to get a job right after the help desk position.
So that means you must have learned a lot, like the advanced
systems
level.
administrator is a combination of many things. A lot of people, it's another big topic for virtualization, web servers, generic, like normal servers, like operating systems, right? Now we are touching cloud, like hybrid, like I deployed application myself and I need to know about cloud and I need to know about on-premises. The application will not work if I don't know the on-premises Active Directory skills. Does that make sense? So if you have Active Directory running here, now you have to manage that Active Directory as a sysadmin, not as a help desk. As a help desk, you are managing what? Users right there, right?
Right.
Here, you are actually managing the Active Directory as a sysadmin. Does that clear anything for you?
Yeah.
So you're basically now managing the infrastructure that you as a help desk were working before. So that's why we tell people to become a help desk first, to make it easy for yourself to become the other positions, right?
Okay, so personal question now. So you said you've been in IT for like 15 years, right?
Almost, not 15 total, but let's 13 plus, I would say.
So are you still learning? Like, are there any new stuff you're still learning?
Oh, 100%. There's no way you can ever
Stop
learning, and you can ever say that I'm a person who I consider myself like an experienced person. I'm an experienced person in areas that I'm working on. I am totally zero, just like you, if you bring something new to me. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
But we know how to, in this career, we know how to move around because of certain core skills that we already have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if your core is good, then of course, I'm not going to be as scared as you are right now, right?
Right.
But am I going to have worries when I start a new job? 100%. Am I going to have stress when I start a new job? 100%. Am I missing skills right now, even at the help desk position? 100%, right? So the thing is that it doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to master anything.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to get in IT, and you just need to know how the system works
Yeah.
politically, skillfully, whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
But having some type of community like ours, it helps you a lot. Very quickly you move on in your career, because look, we didn't have this type of community before, right? And even if we had it, we were relying on like Spiceworks, which is like a community on a web, right? It's not like a video base. It's not like you can approach somebody to just kind of like, hey, I follow you a lot, can you come and do a training with me, or can I pay you, can I even pay you, right? So they don't have that kind of stuff, right?
Mm.
So we missed all these things, and it just, you got to find your community to kind of follow. I'm sure I'm not the only person doing this, right? There's a bunch of people on YouTube that are doing this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So but you just gotta follow something that you don't lose your track, because as a new person, you heard something from somebody else, like, okay, do A plus, network plus, security plus, just like in Hi-Fi example, do Amazon, do pen test. Now Hi-Fi may be thinking, if I want to become that cloud engineer, I should be doing all this 6 certification, and that's where things gets messed up, right? And she may even lose interest, or she may even do it, and then she will become a mentor and tell other people to do the same thing. But I have a problem with that, a bit, that flow, because then, yes, people who are very dedicated may do it, but some people will lose their interest very quickly if they
It might also be unproductive. You can do it in a shorter way, is what I understand.
it is. And that's where, like, that's where you got to be in a community where you're not listening to one person. Like, you're just not listening to me. Of course, you take my notes and go straight to
Yeah.
your teacher,
Mm-hmm.
talk to the person who is more professional, who talk to another IT person. And just like this example, I keep saying it again, I didn't know that he's going to approach a person with 20 years of experience, but look at the comment that he got from that person, right? So I'm doing stuff that I think is right, but of course someone can come and prove me wrong, and that they may have, if somebody prove me wrong, right, they better have some type of courses, or they better have some type of something to provide you, rather than just say, do these 4 certification and you're gonna be good to go. That's just not cutting it, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have something to back you up. That's it. That's my defense here. When I say something like this, my defense is 40,000 plus people on the platform, 40,000 plus people on YouTube. How many people have currently landed a job? How much did I learn from them? How much do I can provide you? I mean, you're taking my courses right now, right? You listen to me over there. How much can I provide you practically that you can trust me that this person is saying the right things, and I can go with wasting my energy now, or investing my energy, not wasting. So that's where you got to use your common sense.
Thank
Okay.
you, man. Thank you. Keep up the good work, and I really appreciate what you do. I mean, we need people like you in our community right now. So, thank you so much, man.
And thank you. And to be honest, like you are a premium member. You paid about what? How many? I don't know, $400 or something like that, right? $400+.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. This is not free stuff, and people need to. Okay, here's another thing that I get a lot. Danish, why aren't you doing a monthly subscription? Now remember, guys, this is a program versus a Udemy course. So somebody even sending me an email that in a Udemy I can buy a course for $9. I'm like, if I pull up any Udemy course right now, combine all of these Udemy courses, combine the whole platform like Udemy with anything IT like help desk, and compare it with our free things that we're providing, it will still not match it. That's the challenge. So people also need to understand that there's a big difference between a platform that is specifically designed to help you your one career versus a platform designed for everybody to post their courses, right? Because there's no labs, there's no research, there's nothing like that. So I'm not discouraging people from not to go to Udemy or anything. They can go 100% over there. And one of my paid members spent like $2,000 actually on Udemy to buy multiple courses, many different type of courses. And he said that still it was not, I mean, it was worth it or not worth it. That's really up to them to come back and say that. But the thing about this is that you got to understand the difference between what we are providing and what you're taking from, what you're getting from other people. And specifically, this is for the brand new people. They don't understand this concept. And they only understand it when they go through some hard time, when they spend some money, when they spend some time, then they come back and start valuing our prices or our time or even our free content. I mean, that's still our energy right there. We spent almost 9 years to put out this free content, which has no value, by the way. And that's something that people need to use some type of research before they start comparing our platform. Yes, fasting is almost over, CavTech, and it's about 2 more days to tomorrow is the second last day and Saturday is the last day, and then we're done. So
They
again,
haven't decided which day is the last one, right?
so what's that, sorry?
They didn't decide which day is the last one, did they?
No, I think Saturday is the last day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Saturday is the last day, and Sunday is going to be the dance day for CavTech. Again, if any questions, if anybody who is live right now, if you guys can ask me a question, I'm happy to answer.
Bro, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
What's
Raj, welcome, bro. How are you?
Yeah. Hi, bro. How are you? Yeah.
Good.
I want to ask you. I went and checked on Microsoft. There's something called Microsoft Intune versus Ignite, where you can do things like MDM and all those stuff. What's the difference between both? Because both of the softwares look very similar, and Microsoft keep on adding stuff and then removing it, and then they keep the same software to use. So what's the difference between
Okay.
Intune?
I don't know too much about Ignite, by the way. I have heard about it a lot, but I have not kind of like, went into it so I cannot give you. Intune is something that is definitely what you just said, like a management tool. So mobile management, and now you can even deploy like a group policy stuff from it. It's like a management tool, basically. You can even deploy software from Intune. So they are also now moving. I mean, if you remember, Intune was a part of kind of like it was kind of like before, like a SCCM Intune combination thing, right? Now they moved to the cloud too. And so if you go to the Azure, there's actually a specific section in Intune, and something that maybe I'll make a video on it, to like a 30 minutes long video, to just like I showed in Azure, and I can probably show some of the basic features that what you can do with the Intune. But you're right, with the Microsoft, they're adding things left and right now. And specifically when it comes to management, right now I have another assignment that was given to me to research on how the ATP, I forgot the advanced APT or ATP, advanced protection.
Advanced threat protection.
Advanced threat protection. Okay, so that's something that's given to me, a new task to compare this with AMP. Do you know anything about Cisco AMP?
Yeah, heard of it,
Okay.
but never used of it. But
so
now,
I'm used to Cisco products in that sense, like a security area. I'm used to that type of products, right? So I deployed AMP, and I really like it because it does a lot of advanced, like let's say, for example, somebody click on a document. I can go back to the trajectory, which is kind of like a little console, and you can see that Raj clicked on this link, and this link is pointing to that IP address, and throughout my network with 500 machines, that IP address is communicating, so I can basically block things. And now Microsoft just came with this new technology of this threat protection, and now I was being given assigned to, because so many companies want to save money because they have licenses with Microsoft and they have licenses with Cisco, and Microsoft is coming back to them, hey, if you have Microsoft Office 365, then we can give you a better license in our protection because it's connected. So then stuff like that. So they add so many things, man. It's just like crazy right now. And that's one of my problems with Microsoft too, that
yeah, bro, talking about Office 365, the same thing Microsoft is doing. Last time they have something called Microsoft 365, and then there's something called Office 365. They're two total different softwares.
actually
and then now they're planning to merge it.
Yeah. And actually that's just the software, but they have so many different plans that I didn't know about it till the Microsoft technical people came to sell their product to us, like more, like for example, that the ATP that I'm talking about, right? I learned that there's so many different level of subscription levels that they have, is that a normal person will look at it and you're just going to start shaking your head like, what the hell is this, right? So they have different layers, and one day if I get a hold of that document, I'll show it, but I want to first make sure that it's legally I can do that, right? So it's like a salesperson had a document opened up, and I'm shaking my head that first of all, who's going to know all these new things? And the managers are telling us to, hey, you know what? I think we should look into this because it's going to save us money. We are in COVID-19. We want to save money. So yeah, it's something that it's another topic. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, bro, I agree with you. I think Microsoft need to do a proper job marketing their products. They have some really good products out there, but it's so confusing because there are some products that look very similar. Then Microsoft would take one product and then they don't know how to remove the older products. Then there are two products in the same market. And then there's something like Office 365. When see Office 365, the licensing, oh, it's damn complicated. There's about 8 or 10 different kinds of licensing.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
Office
Like
365.
understanding the licensing is a whole different. Like you need to have a skill for that, basically. So I don't manage too much with the licenses stuff. My own, like for my own company, I do it for the very basic level. But the companies that I work with, I don't deal with that kind of crap. It's just too much.
Yeah, I have another question. So, what's the difference between imaging versus provisioning? Is it the same thing or is it different?
Imaging versus provisioning?
Yeah.
No, it's provisioning is like so image is basically like it's like a disk that you already have available, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong with the provisioning. I don't know too much about that side, but provisioning is more like you're basically telling an image to do certain task, I believe, right? I don't know too much about this area, but this may be a certain, like you're provisioning, like something like, okay, you have an image and you put it inside a virtual machine and you have some task available for it, and that provision, like, it comes up, like right now, after, like, say, the first time you spin it up, and maybe that provision those tasks. So I don't know. I mean, that may be that true answer, but we can research about that. But image is basically whatever you have done to the machine is an exact copy of that machine. But you can also have an image like a stripped down image. For example, you do sysprep on it, right? And this will remove all the SSIDs. It may remove all the identification numbers that can be a conflict when you put it on a different machine. So that's something that we call it a full image. Now, there's also a difference between cloning, by the way, but there's like a big article that I can share, and a lot of people have different type of suggestions on that, and kind of like, hey, cloning is an imaging is a cloning. That's a different topic.
Yeah,
So,
because I'm now learning MDT, Microsoft Deployment Tool, and it's a lot more powerful than WDS. Because WDS, you need to go there, you need to go and create, use a software called Windows SIM, System Image Manager, to create the answer file, and then bind it together with WDS. In MDT, everything can be done inside. And
inside,
then
because you have more editing tools in there too, right? You can go and specifically edit the specific sections of whatever you want to edit over there. So that's kind of like the benefit of that.
True. So MDT is really powerful. Then I discovered SCCM, which is even more powerful than MDT, which can not only do imaging, but you can, after you deploy the operating system, you can work with group policy, and then you can go out and you can manage the computers, or you can deploy softwares.
Exactly. But the thing is this, but for people who are brand new and they're listening about these names, because they may get confused, I always want to keep this distinguished between new people listening to us, that SCCM is advanced skills. The imaging are also kind of like a level 2 skills, by the way. Level 1 is something that they may know about imaging when they are taught how to do imaging, right? They're not supposed to learn about deployment type of imaging as a level 1 person. So I just want to put that in there, because people may be listening to us and they're like, oh, Raj is talking about SCCM again, and I heard about this. Do I need to learn about it? SCCM is a total different monster when it comes to learning that. You got to deploy a database server for that. You're going to deploy a member server for that. You got to deploy even an IS, web server services for that. So there's a lot that's required for SCCM to.
Yeah, I agree, bro. SCCM is a whole course on its own. I think SCCM is something you think about, like 2 to 3 months to fully understand.
People can, I would say that learn about SCCM and stuff like that once you land a job, and then know if it's really required in your job area. Unless you want to go for different positions, maybe you have time, you have job, you have money coming in, right? You even can have them pay for the SCCM type of learning. Then later on, you can have the labs that we are providing. You can have your own labs that you can create. So something that I would say, invest the time for new people when you are already working in an IT. Don't try to master SCCM when you don't even have a job? It just doesn't make sense, right?
Hey, Danish, someone's asking, or Rinseo, sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong, is asking what Spiceworks is. It's a program that offers different services, right? Like I remember we did inventory on it, but it also does software deployment and things like that. Maybe you can explain it better.
So Spiceworks is basically a management tool, right? So let's say, for example, can you guys see my screen? Hi, can I guys see my screen? Am I live?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
see your stuff. I can see it.
So a lot of people may ask you, what is Spice? Spiceworks is a management tool. So let's say, for example, this is your company, and in the company you have desktop. These are your desktops right here. And let's say this is the printer. I'm going to call this big one P printer. Let's say you have other projectors that are IP based. You may have phones, devices, whatever you have in there in the network. So Spicework is a tool that you can install it on one of your servers, or you can even put it on your desktop, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to call it server. So then you install this application. It's a free application from Spiceworks. You install it, and it basically scan your network. And anything inside that network, it's going to come out with the results. Okay. And then in one of your computer, you open up a web page, and inside that web page, you can have all of the machines, like let's say 32 desktops of 64-bit systems. So you can have that information. You can have events. You can even troubleshoot those desktops by adding in events to these desktops. So it's like a management tool, network management tool. It can do scanning for you without you going doing it manually.
It also
So-
does inventory, no?
Yeah,
And you can also do software deployment from it.
No, you cannot
but
do software deployment for Spice.
We did some kind of. Did we do any
That
kind
was-
of deployment?
that was
I
a
know we did
PDQ.
it from. Yeah, I know we did it from PDQ. But did you say that? Oh, you said we can also do inventory on PDQ.
We can also do inventory PDQ, exactly.
Okay, but then
So-
also I think Rinseo asked, because I was saying that I just joined the Spiceworks. You were talking when I was in class. You were talking about the forum and how like how they're very helpful there, and especially to new IT professionals.
Let me open Spiceworks first. Just want to show. Sometimes when if I don't have a lab available, the best way to do and to tell people something, you just type the term and go to the images, and it's a little more helpful, right? So now, whatever I was explaining right now, I can explain it a little better now. Watch this. Oh, this is a very small image. I don't know if you guys can see the images now. It's a little blurry, right?
Yeah, I see it blurry.
Let's see if we open the image in a new tab. Okay, so as you can see right now, you see this is a machine. It's a little blurry image, but let me see if I can make it bigger. I hate when I cannot see my screen fully. Here you go. It's blurry stuff, but this is the Spiceworks application. So if somebody's interested, type job skills share space Spiceworks. I have done a lot on this area. And then basically you see that it's going out to the network, it's scanning your network, and basically it's taking out all of the information for you from these machines. So it tells you about the make, model, RAM, CPU, blah, 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 who logged into the desktop. And then you can also use it for troubleshooting purposes. You can have basically has the ability to ping, troubleshoot, open services, open a single computer, see what's going on with it. It goes out there and it just gather information for you, but you can do things with it too. It can, by the way, Haif, I think it can uninstall software, not deploy software. Yeah,
Maybe that was it. I think I just mixed it up with PDQ because you said that you can do inventory on PDQ and Spiceworks.
Yep. And you can uninstall software, but you cannot deploy software with Spiceworks. And it also has the ability to give you the help desk ticketing system in there, and it has more, more tools.
It has its own ticketing system. Sorry.
It has its own ticketing system built in.
Okay.
So that's covered in a ticketing system course that we have. But here you go. You can also go to the Spiceworks tools. By the way, if somebody is interested in knowing what kind of tools they provide, you go to the download section right here, and here you have tools right here. So you can see they have some more tools right here. Like for example, if the website is running IP addresses monitoring your infrastructure, tracking the vendor's contract. Then there's IP lookup, subnet calculator, website down checker, SSL checker. So for example, if you go to the, if you think that is the site legit, I want to know about the certificate of this site. Is it working? Is it expired? Blah, blah, blah. Here you go. I did a job skill share before, and it tells you about the job skill share. It is a what? Is a secure website, right?
Yeah.
And it tells you the chain of that too. Everything is in there available for you. So all that. This is the old one, but if I refresh it, I guess it's going to give you a new one. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with Spiceworks.
But Spiceworks also has a really great community for asking.
Oh yeah,
questions.
definitely. That's something that's very important. Thank you for reminding me. Spiceworks, I think the main part of the Spiceworks would be the community, by the way. So just like you guys are learning stuff from JobSkillShare, but JobSkillShare.org is focused on a specific titles or skills, right? We're not going all over. We don't have that kind of skills anyway, right? Like I said, where we are, like somebody asked me, do you know everything? I don't know the things that I don't know, right? So here you're going to come over here to the category, and in the category you're going to basically pick whatever you are interested in. So if you're interested in security, then you go to security. But for people like beginners, like level 1, and sometimes you guys ask me questions like Haifa, you ask me, hey, where can I find some real world tickets, right? This is the perfect area for you to come over here and see what other technician or technical people are having in issues. Now remember, these people are level 1 type of people that have already done some troubleshooting, but still they may have issues. They put it right here. So this is the best area to come around and find what kind of tickets that you may be expecting, right, that you cannot resolve. So you can come over here and click on, let's say, for example, Windows 10. So if I click on Windows 10 right now, and I want to know about the real world tickets, how currently people are having issues and they're asking for help, you're going to come over here and look at this right here. How to troubleshoot why shows 2 TB instead of 12 TB. Accidentally deleted computer account in AD. There you go. This is a real ticket, by the way, right? How cool is that?
Very cool.
And Outlook search isn't working. This is something that normal stuff is happening, and then people are giving their replies. Like, for example, these are professionals. These people have more than 1 to 20 years of experience, even more than that. And people come over here and then they give their suggestions, right? You see, they're giving their best answers. So some people are putting commands right there, blah, blah, blah. And that's,
by the way, I think if you have a check mark next to it, that means you're an IT professional. Because when I was just signing up, I was asking, and obviously I'm not.
These are verified, yeah. So it says
yeah,
verified.
So they're IT professionals, right?
Yeah. And these some people are companies too. So this is a company, by the way. I know this company. So this is a company, by the way. And they may say, they give you the suggestion, but they may even tell you you can do it from our tool too, you know. So Outlook issues, Captech is laughing right now because it's such a common thing that everybody's having issues with it. Even on Spiceworks, Captech, look at this right here. I think you already covered that. If you check Captech channel, go to Captech and go to his YouTube channel and then type Captech. Wait, hold on. Actually, let's do a real world searching here. Outlook search. So let me open a new one right here. I'm gonna do YouTube. And we're gonna type Captech Outlook. Oh, look at that. This is how you learn IT, by the way. And it's the same friend of ours in this community, Captech channel. So you go in there, you have this issue. There you go. That issue is happening. You came over here, you type the name of the channel, or now I don't have an Outlook search video, but if you just do this Outlook, and it tells you how to fix problems at work. I might not have the exact same video like Captech have, but there you go. This is how you learn technology. But if people are interested in, hey, is there a free version of these courses? Like I said, free version have no value. This means that if you combine the skills that we're teaching in the free training, the free thing that we have done, maybe even more than the live training. But again, live training is more practical stuff. So here you go. You got this link available to you. I'm going to post it. If anybody's interested to become an IT professional, this should be your first link if you want to do everything for free. If you want to pay for things, then you're free to do a little bit of research on our website. You're going to find either live training, paid membership, whatever. But these courses are fully blown courses that is more than about, I'd say, 300 hours. So do not get lost. Try it from the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Move down to where I have shown Keftek, Kugelman, many other videos to help you achieve your goals at the level 1. Of course, we cannot cover every single thing, neither in the free training, neither in the paid training. It's just impossible. But we're going to cover everything that's going to make your life extremely easy to be able to, achieve these goals right there. Okay. So any other last questions before we finish this? And again, somebody disliked this video, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, did you check out my new intro to my videos? Did you see that yet today? When I posted my last video, it's a cool intro I have. You gotta at least play that part of it. I mean, don't play the video,
and
but
we got
play like the cool intro.
Steven IT support, right? This?
Yep, Stevens, IT support.
Oh, Stevens,
yes, IT support.
IT essentials.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Oh, God.
it's
Can
IT
you
essentials.
paste your link in the chat? I'm gonna open it.
I don't think links are working.
I'm on Zoom. Hold on. Why aren't you coming up with that? Stevens IT. Oh, essentials.
Essentials, not support.
Put down Stevens IT essentials.
Hold on, I'm hearing like 2 echoes right now. Hold on. I think I turned on another video somewhere. Hold on, let me find that. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I opened 2 browsers, so I opened my own channel, so now I hear my own voice. Trying to find where that tab is.
It happens.
Oh, wifey's calling me. Let me put the.
Let me go get the. What the heck is the link?
Steven, I cannot find it still. I'm doing Steven's IT professional.
Here, I'll post the
Essentials.
Okay,
essentials.
I found it.
Essentials.
I found it. There you go.
Yeah, we see a Windows 10 for him. Yeah.
Maybe you have to open an IE.
Steven's IT professional. Ooh, I like your what's that? You're putting the.
Yeah, check out the adding the home drive in Server 2019 start of it. I had some explosions on there. Yeah, I kind of got a little fancy.
This is what you need to do.
Tested it out.
Oh, you got 5 live. Let me make it 6 now.
Look at that. Breaking news.
Ooh. Oh, hold on. I gotta go back. I missed it. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Hey, like that. That's kind of cool. Figure I'd spice it up a little bit.
Nah, that's good. That's good, man. I like it.
So the old boring, just showing a screenshot.
I think that's good enough. I think that's something we needed. So Steven IT Essentials, the link is in the description. Did I put the link in the description? No, right? I'm gonna put it right there.
No.
I'll put it right here. Hyper's like, oh Lord. Trying to learn more about Cisco. Okay, what would be your advice if somebody want to IT support trying to learn about more about Cisco switches? Cisco certification then is a perfect route for you. CCNA. That's what it is. Because if you want to specifically say Cisco routers, then you just go with a Cisco CCNA. But then also find a channel that is kind of more towards this area. Like we are getting started right now, but we're not teaching more on the Cisco side. We're first covering the networking side first, because that's where we don't want to lead people towards Cisco right away. We want people to learn networking as a whole and then Cisco. But if you cannot wait, then of course, Cisco certification, CCNA is a good start for you, but find a good channel with it. So then you can have a similar type of education than what we're doing. And also, yeah, he's packet tracer, just like I said, go with this learning of certification. I'm sure in the learning, people are going to tell you about packet tracers and stuff like that. We also have labs, by the way, for CCNA, but like I said, we don't focus too much on it. So if you have a second, please do like our video. I do like it when somebody, comment or share their skills or like what we're doing. This is energy that we're investing. So please do like our video. And the people who dislike it, we still love you as usual. So with that, I am gonna go and start helping out with the family, and then maybe on Sunday we'll do another session. So thank you, Haifa. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Raj. Thank you,
Have a
Rinsai,
good
Of
night.
course, man. Thank you.
for coming and sharing all that
Yeah,
good
Thank you,
thanks,
information.
bro.
everyone.
Thank you, Danish.
Thank you so much. And thank you for people in the chat. Thank you, KevTech. Every single person who contributed in this in one way or another, I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
You all stay safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.